put in their weight, okay? All right, so we're on chapter 11, lesson 11. And this is going to be the last one for chapter 11. And we're not going to do a chapter 11 test. We're going to go right into geometry. Ellie, what do you need?
I forgot my water.
Okay, you're in, where at?
The closer one.
Where did you forget it?
At the bathroom.
Okay, go quickly and get it. All right, so what we're going to learn today is how can we measure on a number line? Eyes up here. Are you guys being respectful? Carson, what are we going to measure on today? Mason, what are we going to measure on today?
A number line.
A number line. Okay, so we're not going to use our rulers to measure like we've been working on in this chapter. We're going to learn something new and different today. We're going to use a number line. So our essential question for this chapter, again, is how can I measure objects? So we're not going to use a ruler, we're going to use a number line. So let's watch a number rock video that refreshes our memory on what a number line is. And in this video, it's going to talk about adding and subtracting. And that's exactly what we're going to have to do today, okay? All right.
Oh, I remember this.
I don't think we've seen this one.
They have.
Maybe last year.
Problem is like all day through the countryside. 5-star light from the Milky Way. He finished his ride. His 100-mile journey required persistence. Now let's see how he tracked his distance.
Represented by links apart, with one space equally apart. Now if we extend this number line, one whole number to the right we'll find. The next number that will mark is 10. Now let's extend it again and again. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. In my ride at 100, but the pattern is forever ahead. When numbers are shown as distances represented on a number line, helping us find songs and differences.
Now Rob's back home, hanging out with his mom. They are winding down the day, numberrock.com. They pick a song about number line skills, a place that thrills, and Rob's mom says,
This is chill. We can jump forward on number lines, solve problems with addition signs. Let's add 11 to 29, jump 1 and then 10. 40's the sum we'll find.
And we can subtract 11 to rewind, which will take us back to 29.
We can jump backwards on number lines to solve questions with subtraction signs. Let's subtract 12 from 25, jump back 10 and 2. 13's the difference we'll find.
Now add back 12 to 13, and we will arrive at a sum we've seen, 25. There are many instances when numbers are shown as distances represented on a number line, helping us find sums and differences.
Now here is just one last remark about the distance between each mark. We can call them spaces. To be technical, their correct mathematical name is an interval.
There are many instances when numbers are shown as distances represented on a number line, helping us find sums and differences. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Whoa, whoa, oh, oh. Numberrock.com.
So, we are going to practice measuring with a number line. And that's what they want us to work on today. Not using a ruler, but using a number line. So I passed out a paper that says measuring on a number line. Would you please put your name at the top of it? And then Mrs. Nagel is giving you one one of my brand new crayons. And the reason why I want you to use my crayon is because they're brand new, and I want us to all have the same measurement. Because if you opened up your toolbox, some of your crayons are broken or some of them are used, and then we're not going to have about the same measurement, okay? And then Mrs. Stewart is getting a glue stick. So you're going to get a glue stick too to borrow for this activity. So the first thing we need to do is we need to look at this. Our label at the top says centimeters. Then I have 0 way over here. And I have 15 over here. So what do you think this thing right here is called? Hayden.
Number 1.
It's a... John, what is this called?
Centimeters.
No. You need to be listening and not talking to Lewis. Lewis, what is this called?
Centimeters.
No. Hayden, will you tell them again because they weren't listening?
Number line.
Thank you. It's a number line. This is a number line. It looks a little different from the number line that we have, but this is a number line, okay? Now, what we have to do is we're going to measure using this number line, okay? And what we need to do is we are going to change this up. It says to place a crayon and a pair of scissors. We're not going to do scissors because your guys' scissors are all different shapes, all different sizes. But we're going to do a glue stick instead. So, Mrs. Stewart, do you want to pass out the glue stick? Okay, but first, since you guys are just being patient waiting, let's first lay your crayon up here at the top of this number line, okay? So lay your crayon up there first. So, I'm going to use Carson's as an example. Where's your crayon? And I'm going to lay my crayon right at the top here. Now, when I lay it down, where does the end of the crayon need to be at, Raylan?
9.
Okay, one end is going to be at 9. Where's the other end?
0.
0. So I need to always start at 0. Then, when I lay it down, guys, with your pencil, listen to directions. You have 2 choices. You can either trace your crayon, which might be kind of hard, or you can try to draw it to match it as best as you can. Okay, but I want it to show that you have a crayon there. Okay, go ahead, lay your crayon down. And then either trace it or draw it on this number line. Perfect. I'm just going to walk around. Mrs. Nagel, you can walk around if you want to too. Just make sure your crayons, perfect, are going to that 9.
That
It's okay. Just try to pull it back. Just a tad. I know it rolls, so it's kind of hard.
What?
You just might want to
This
draw a line with your
hard.
Maybe just do it that way, because that's what I have to do. It rolls, and so it's kind of hard to crease. Crayola is the type of crayon. This one's a little different. This one's called Crazy Art, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been to crayon. Yeah, I've been to crayon. What's crayon?
All right. Wyatt noticed that I put my label as Crayola. These crayons, I guess, are not Crayola. They're called Crazy Art crayons. But the most common type of crayons are called Crayola.
Yes, I have them.
Okay, now we have our crayon measured up here, and Raylan said it was 9 centimeters long. So after the crayon, I'm just going to write 9 centimeters.
there's four.
How the rows are. Yeah. Okay, now, we're gonna take the glue stick that Mrs. Stewart gave you, because these are all the same size. Now, most glue sticks are about the same size, but I know some of you in your toolboxes have bigger ones. So, now, Mason, what do you think we're gonna have to do with the glue stick? We're gonna have to lay it down and draw it, and I see you laying it down. Where do you lay your glue stick down at, Mason? Where does one end have to be?
At the top of one hand, at the bottom, but I got 8.
Okay, one end has to be at the 0, Mason said, and he is right. And then the other end, Mason says, is at the 8. When you guys lay your glue sticks down, do you guys get the same? Yeah? Okay. Perfect.
I'm so bad at tracing. I know. Not tracing. Oh wait. Going, cause my ruler is like sliding. Why do you do on your ruler? I can do a good line.
Mrs. Murphy, do we have to do the label?
You don't have to, like I did,
I'd rather do the
Please do have to write
but it would be nice just so you know that what you're measuring.
But, right, Miss Murphy, you have to write the, like, the 9 centimeters or the
Miss
Yeah.
Murphy has not to wait.
I know. It does, it says more than that, but if you look, Carson, it really does say glue stick.
The man said glue stick.
Okay, now, once you have your glue stick drawn out, behind it, let's put 8 centimeters.
8 centimeters. It does centimeters. See? And 9.
Okay, as we get done drawing these, we can tell, looking at our number line, that one of our objects is longer. Kaden, which one is longer?
The crayon.
The crayon, yep.
The crayon.
Yeah, the crayon is longer. And the glue stick is shorter, right? We talked about longer and shorter. But my question is, how much longer is the crayon than the glue stick? How are we gonna figure that out? Journey, what do you think?
1 centimeter.
Say it again.
1 centimeter longer.
How did you figure that out? You're right.
Just first it's on the board. Second it's how I wrote it.
Okay, so when you see these two numbers, what did you notice? Is 8? Okay, so the crayon is 9. So what we could do is we could take the 9, which is the bigger number. So everybody down here, where it has your little subtraction problem, to find the difference, we always put the bigger number first. We can never put the smaller number first because then that would not work.
Then we will
So,
have to
We
it's
have
only
9,
down
and we're going to take away the smaller number, which is 8. So Ario, 9 take away 8 is what? 1. And that's exactly what Journey got. He said that the difference is 1 centimeter. And can you guys put a label centimeter? And you can also look up here. You can see there's only 1 space on the number line. So we know that we've done it right. Okay? Okay. All right. Once you get this done, flip it to the guided practice. And Mrs. Stewart, if you want to pick up the blue sticks, and Mrs. Nago, if you don't mind picking up the crayons, that'd be fabulous. So leave your glue stick and crayons out, okay? Okay. Okay, now, I want everybody to flip it, put your pencil down, put your eyes on Mrs. Murphy, because they've done something different on this page. I want to see everybody's eyes up here. Thanks, Kaden. Kaden, would you flip up, please? John, I'm waiting for your eyes. John.
dropped it.
Okay. Okay, up here on the guided practice, you can see the label of centimeters again. But what do you notice about my number line that is different than the front page? What do you notice about the number line?
Oh, it skips. It skips another 20.
Oh my gosh! It skips Aria and Ellie. Hayden up here. Okay, if I have to say any one of your names again, I'm gonna just have you go flip down. Because this is very important. This is gonna be tricky. It skips numbers. So it's not starting at 0. It's starting at what number, guys? 20. So does this mean that this crayon is 20 centimeters long? No. Now, what we have to do is we have to find the difference. Like, how long is that crayon? So it's starting at the 20, and it's going up to the 29. So Lila, how long do you think that crayon is?
9 inches.
9. How did you figure that out?
Because they're just putting a 2 in front of it.
Yeah, they just went from 20 to 29, and they're just putting the 20 in front of it, right? And we can subtract 29 minus 20, and we get 9. And they're just kind of trying to trick you. They're making you think, right? So Lila says it's 9. I think she accidentally said inches. I think she meant centimeters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. So it is 9 centimeters. So with your pencil right now, pick it up and trace 9. Now, how are we gonna figure out the paper clip? Brooklyn, what are we gonna do? So what number did you say? Go to the 20. Well, the 20 is right here. Count the what, Brooklyn? You keep thinking. Kinsley?
You could count how many, like, there is in where it is.
Do you want to come show me and show your friends? Okay, so Kinsley has a really good idea that I don't think I've really talked about. Because I've only talked about subtracting, but Kinsley has another idea.
Like, you can count how many.
Spaces.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then that's how many.
Good. Can you count for your friends up there?
5.
She counted the spaces, or on the number rack video, they said the interval. And I know I've talked about interval when we talked about bar graphs. So the number line has intervals too. So Kinsley just counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is she right? Yeah. What else could we do? Thank you, Kinsley. That's one way. We could count the spaces or the intervals. Hayden, what's another way?
We could add.
How could we add?
We could add 5 plus 9.
Well, I don't think 9, but 5 plus
5.
25, because then we get 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then we would know our paper clip is 5 centimeters long because you started at 25, you added 5, and you got to 30. So we could add. There's one more way we could do it, Brooklyn. Did you think of it?
Like, I don't know, but you could count.
That's kind of what Kinsley did. She went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Like, you just have to move this back and then you can move it back.
No, we wouldn't move anything. Libby,
Jump over.
jump over, or we'd subtract. We'd take 30 and we'd take 5 away to get to 25. So that would be another way. We could also subtract. So right now, trace, the paper clip is 5 centimeters long.
We can also add.
We've already said that before. If you were paying attention, we've already said that. Okay, now let's go down to the bottom. On the bottom, we're no longer measuring in centimeters. How do I know that? Mason, how do I know that?
Well, it says inches at the top.
Good, it says inches at the top of my number line here. So the first thing we're gonna measure is this pencil. So right now, guys, look at your number line. long is that pencil? Wyatt, are you looking right now? Raise your hand if you can tell Mrs. Murphy how many inches long that is. Charlotte, what do you think? Okay, now Charlotte, it looks like it's 66, but remember they're trying to trick you because they're not starting at 0. So it's not 66 inches long. Maybe count like what Kinsley did, because that's a really good idea. Count the spaces.
Or
John, what do you think?
5.
How did you get that?
I can't, because you can't move the pencil.
Yeah?
So it's at 66. So you just.
Oh, sorry, John.
It's an Android now.
I accidentally bumped it. So John, continue. You can't move the pencil.
You can just pretend that you're moving the pencil. Then, well, it's one space apart.
Okay. So, did you start here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is that what you did? Give me a thumbs up if you counted that way. A lot of you did. Good job. Okay, put your thumbs down. If you didn't have your thumbs up, how did you count this? Raylan?
So, the 66 is what's on there. 266.
Yeah.
And I I already had it in my head. I didn't even think the 60.
Me either.
But how did you know that was 5? If you were at 66, how did you know that pencil was 5?
You take 1 off 6, it's 5.
So you subtracted. Oh, Mrs. Murphy did this wrong up here. So Raylan started with 66, and he took away 61, and you got 5.
Yeah, that's fine.
You did it in your head. You didn't do it on paper, right? You did it in your head. So that's another way you could subtract to find the difference. Hayden,
Did the same way on Layla.
you did the same thing? Okay, did anyone not count or not subtract? Addie?
I have one for the paper clip. So you can just take your fingers, put it on the paper, and see how long it is. Then move it to the so it started at 20. Just move it to the 20, and then look at the end of it, and then see how long.
Another way to do it. Not as probably precise, but it works. Hey, does anyone not have another way besides counting or subtracting? Libby?
I was doing the jumps.
The jumps. And when you do the jumps, you're counting, but you're also adding. So 61 plus 5 is going to give me 66, right? So, yep, so it'd be 5 inches long.
I didn't even count. I just put 5.
I got another way.
Mason, you have another way?
Okay, so this will just take away the 6 on every one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. But then you still would have to subtract kind of what you did. You counted, but you'd also have to subtract 2. Okay? And you count, it's kind of what you really did was just count. Okay, now we're going to go on to the next problem. The next problem says, how much longer is the marker than the rubber band? Okay, so I'm going to write, can you guys write over here 5 inches? And then let's figure out now the marker. So, right now, look at the marker on your page. How would you figure out how long it is? Raise your hand when you know the answer. I'll give you guys a few more seconds. Tyson, what do you think?
66.
Well, remember, Tyson, you would be right if this was a 0. But they're tricking you. This is not a 0. It's a 60. So the marker's starting at 60 and it's going to 66. So it kind of tricked you, Tyson. Okay.
And you have to minus 1. So it would be 60.
Okay. Keep thinking, Tyson. You were at 60 and we're going to 66. Lily. tell me.
that.
1, 2,
I was gonna say
3,
that.
4, 5, 6.
I
was
just
just
said
about
that.
to say that.
Oh, Miss Murphy, I knew it right away in my head.
Good. So, Addie, how did you know it right away in your head? You didn't have to count?
No.
I didn't have to count.
What did you do?
I knew that they were just putting a 6 in front of it to trick us.
So you went from 60 plus 6 to give you 66. So you were kind of adding in your head.
Yeah.
Or you could subtract 66 minus 66 minus 60 gives us 6. All right. Now the last one we need to measure, and then we got to find the difference, is the rubber band. So look at that rubber band. Tyson, I want you to look at this one because I want you to see if you can answer this one. Tyson, what do you think about the rubber band? 3. You got it. How did you get it this time, Tyson?
I just calculated
1, 2,
'Cause
3.
you don't start at 62.
Right. It starts at 62.
But
And
then
we
you
can
go to
add
the
3 to get to 65. We could subtract.
And then there's 3.
Yep.
Left.
Right.
There's 3 left.
Okay. Now, we found the measurements, but we haven't answered the question. The question says, how much longer is the marker than the rubber band? Well, the marker is 6. The rubber band is 3. Journey, what do you think? 3. How did you figure that out?
The marker took our gold stick. And Tyson said that the marker is a number 3.
Yeah. Good. So 6 minus 3 equals 3. Can you guys write that for Mrs. Murphy down there? I'm going to be checking. L.E.A., Mason, if you don't write this down there, I'm going to mark it wrong. Because I want you to show me that you're finding the difference. How much longer? We have to subtract in order to do that.
Miss Murphy. I know another way because 3 plus 3 equals 6. If you minus
Yep.
3, like
Mason, don't think you're sure.
3 minus 6 is just
Okay. All right, let's flip it to the next page, the independent practice, and we're going to do this together, okay?
This is hard.
Why did it say it's hard?
Why did I put 6?
Okay. Sorry, my top is going to be cut off. That way I can get all of these on here. So, looking at your guys' top, we have our number line. What is our label going to be, Ingrid? Centimeters. So we're going to be measuring in centimeters. Okay? So, Brooklyn, read number 3. What does it say? Okay, how long is the glue stick? Now I'm going to look at my number line. Uh-oh. It doesn't start at 0.
It's starting at 7.
What is it starting at? 70. 70. So, right now, you need to measure that glue stick. Mason, scoot in, please. Measure the glue stick and write it on the line. Measure the glue stick. And Miss Stewart, Mrs. Nagel, and Mrs. Murphy are just going to walk around. All right, second graders, on the count of 3, tell Mrs. Murphy how long the glue stick is. 1, 2, 3.
7!
Good job. 7. You went from 70 to 77. You can subtract, or you could add, or you could count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Did you have a question, Brooklyn?
Like the other one, like how I did the marker, like the other thing, for the marker, I just looked at it and saw 6. Because it's 1 after and saw 1 after, so I was like,
That works too. Okay, right now, I would like you to measure this push pin pin. They call it a push pin, or a tack is another name, but push pin. And then write down how many centimeters long, and Mrs. Stewart, Mrs. Nagel, and I will walk around. Count that one again. The push pin's that little green pin. Count that again. That one's wrong. Count that again. We'll get eraser back there, but that's wrong. So go with that. Get eraser back there and fix it. Count that again. Good job. Good job. Count that again. Count that one again. All right, second graders, on the count of three, tell me how long the push pin is. 1, 2, 3. 2! Yeah, 2 centimeters. When I was walking around, I saw like a few of you having 3, a bunch of you. And I was trying to think, how did you get 3? So Wyatt, can I ask you, how did you get 3?
I started at the one in the 80, and then when the tip of the pin touched 83, I thought it was 80.
Oh, so you were looking at it wrong? Okay. All right, because there was like 5, 6 of you that all had 3, and I was just trying to think, what were you trying to count there? But this is 1, 2. Okay, so everybody fixed it, and they got 2, and that's correct. Okay, measure right now the crayon. How long is the crayon? Do that right now. Here you go. Okay, measure that again. Measure your crayon again. Lila, measure your crayon again. Measure that again. Crayon's not right.
That's kind of messy. Let's fix it.
Good job.
We'll do 6 and
This
then-
Murphy, I just took my 2 fingers and measured it, moved it to the 0, boom.
Okay, second graders, on the count of 3, how long is the crayon? 1, 2, 3.
6!
Awesome. I don't think I saw any wrong that time, maybe 1 or 2. Good job. Okay, now we're done measuring. Now they want us to figure out how much longer is the pencil than the glue stick. So actually, guys, we haven't measured the pencil yet. So I think I need to do that. I thought we were done, but we didn't do the pencil. Hayden, how long is that pencil?
9 centimeters.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You are right. It is 9 centimeters. Now, if the pencil is 9 and the glue stick is 7, how am I going to find the difference? Mason?
Because if you okay, so it's 2 more
How did you get that? You're right.
because
The glue stick is 7.
and then the pencil is 9.
So 2 more.
So the pencil is 7.
No, 9.
And then you take like 2.
It would give you 7, right? Good job. Okay, so Mason's right. So right now, we should take the 9 for the pencil, take away 7 for the glue stick, and the difference is 2 centimeters.
Yes, I got it.
Okay, number 7. How much how long are the crayon and the push pin in all? Now, I see the keyword and, which I know I need to add, and in all means to add. So look at the crayon and look at the push pin. And I'm going to walk around and check. Add that one again. In all, you got to add them. Can you fix this? You need to go there. And then you got to add that one. The two needs to go there.
All I did is I
Add that again.
took crayon and the push pin.
What'd you get, John? Awesome. What'd you get?
I'm just guessing all. This is 7.
Louis, you should know.
What is it?
Six.
Six.
They came up with
John, add that again. Which one? Why are you saying that's 6?
No, I'm saying it's 8. Luce is saying it's 6.
That's right. You don't have Okay, you second graders, I think most of you got this right. On the count of 3. What is the crayon and the push pin all together? Ready? 1, 2, 3. 8! Good job, 8. Because we have the crayon is 6, and the push pin is 2, and 6 plus 2 is 8.
You're gonna get it wrong, it says you have to add them both
Okay.
together. You have to add this plus this.
Okay?
But that is it wrong.
All right, the last one. How much shorter is the push pin than the pencil? So how much shorter? That means I need to find the difference. So I need to subtract again. So find the push pin and the pencil. Subtract them and write your answer down.
Pencil is what?
My pencil's longer
I don't.
That's right, but now yeah, you do. Good job. Takes in your pencil. Okay, so take your pencil, which is how much? Pencil's 9.
Good job. Awesome.
Okay, I think most of you have it done. On the count of 3, tell me the difference between the pencil and the push pin. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 7! Good job, 7. So, most of you took the 9 and you subtracted the 2. The pencil's 9. The push pin was 2 and you got 7. Awesome job. Okay, on the back. Listen. Okay. Listen to directions. On the back. We are not going to do this today, so you have 2 choices. You can X it off and not even worry about it, or if you want to not X it off and leave it and take it home later and do it later on, you can. I want you to leave these on your desk, and I'm going to have Mrs. Stewart pick them up today because I don't want to hand it in just